Well, Sam Darnold, fight on, is in Seattle now. He's fine in, like, got the grunge look going, with the flannel.
Yeah, I like it, man.
Serving Nirvana.
Like he's going clamming in Seattle somewhere.
Are his best days ahead of him, Key?
I think they are. Yes, I do. I'm a little nervous. I think he's going to be okay, but I'm a little nervous because you got a new offensive system and a new offensive mind, a new coach, and there's no Justin Jefferson and no Addison.
It's not.
It's just
they don't have the receivers that they had last year.
Minnesota's defense.
And when you're playing at least 13 games in decent weather because you're indoors, right? At home at least 8 times indoors, plus a 9 in Detroit. And if you catch a Green Bay on a nice day or catch a Chicago, plus whatever you're doing on the road, and now you're looking at Seattle and then the weather and all that sort of stuff, that plays a big part in wanting to throw the football all over the field. And you don't have those receivers. I mean, Jackson Smith is coming along, but he ain't Addison, and he's not Justin Jefferson. So, but I think his days are ahead of him. I honestly do. I don't think he's going to take a step back.
Well,
how old is he?
27.
27, yeah.
They just signed Cooper Kupp. So.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh.
I didn't want to interrupt your.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They get back.
Well, we just had a segment on Cooper Kupp. Did he just literally
Yeah,
sign?
he literally just signed. They were trying to tell me to wait because we wanted to get the graphics in, but you were talking about who he was going to be throwing to, so I jumped the gun and told you.
All right, so we're going to ask you again.
Yeah.
His best days ahead.
Or his best days ahead. Now that he will be throwing to at least
it's a little
Cooper
bit.
Kupp.
It's a little bit better. Yeah, I feel a little bit better about the situation. Cooper Kupp going home back to Seattle because he's from that area. So I feel a little bit better. Yeah, his days are ahead of him.
Told you, Dallas.
Yes.
I told you, Dallas fans. What I just tell these
Sure
fans?
did.
All right, great answer. He did.
What do you
Jordan
think?
said it, though. Jordan said Seattle was a wild card in the situation. Watch out for him.
Yeah, because he's from up there, and they replace him with Devontae, so you want to see him
Oh,
again.
wait, he in the same division, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants to see him.
Ooh.
Yes, I think definitely, especially that he's 27 years old, man, and so he has a lot of football left. Initially, I'm like, it's very, very hard, right? Same answer. You got Justin Jefferson you're throwing to. You have a really good defense called by Brian Flores, and Kevin O'Connell's done a great job. So I think now that he has Cooper Kupp, I think that definitely he's in a situation. And plus, too, now, like, he's for sure officially, like, the guy. Like, ever since he left the Jets, it's been an uphill battle, and he went through it for the right reasons. Now he's in the right spot. So now I feel like he gets to play stress-free football, now that he got some money, and now he is for sure the guy. He hasn't been the guy since he got drafted to the Jets.
You know what's so crazy is I forgot they signed MVS, too.
Yep.
And think about this, though, Joy. MVS, it was around all these MVP years, right? Aaron Rodgers in 2020 won the MVP. Aaron Rodgers in 2021 won the MVP. Patrick Mahomes won the MVP
Twice.
and the Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl MVP again in 2023. And Josh Allen this past year won the MVP with MVS all on the same team. Now, Sam Darnold has him, so maybe it is heading in the right direction. Some sort of luck charm.
Listen, I love the Cooper Kupp signing. They needed to replace what they lost offensively, particularly that positions. And, if Cooper can stay healthy, we know what kind of production he can have. He's very experienced. He's a Super Bowl MVP. So I think that overall the Seahawks are not as complete as the Vikings roster and coaching staff is. So I wouldn't expect the exact same type of production from Sam Darnold this year that you saw there. And look, you're throwing to the best receiver in the league, arguably the best receiver in the league, and also could be a number one somewhere else if he wasn't with Minnesota and wasn't lining up on the other side of the field from Justin Jefferson. So the weapons that they have there, the system that they have there, I think really aided him. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little choppy at first. Best days ahead of him. Do I think he's going to reach the level that he had at Minnesota? I don't know, but I think it's still a good situation that they just made better in Seattle by signing Cooper Kupp.
I mean, his best days are definitely ahead of him because now he's going to be a starting quarterback for a few years now. Think about it.
Yeah, he has some runway.
His better days are ahead of him. Of course, he spent 1 year as a starter in Minnesota, like full time. Is he going to get to the point to where we're talking about him being an MVP again? Because there was a point like around week 8, week 9 when they were undefeated and
Yeah, he was in the mix
He was
midway.
in the mix midway. Will he get to that point? I don't know, but he's certainly in his prime right now. He's 27 years old, got a big deal, got to be confident that he got a coach that backs him. And that can go a long way when you become a franchise player, franchise quarterback. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say, yes, his best days are ahead of him. They'll do everything they can to put a system in front of him and players around him so he can be successful because they know what he's capable of when we saw that in Minnesota last year.
No, Seattle's spending a little bit of money.
As they should.
You know,
They
Marcus
should.
Lawrence, good Cooper Kupp.
Building a culture.
Yeah, they got rid of money
Yeah.
when they got rid of Geno and they got rid of DK and
DK.
Lockett, so they was able to get
Right.
some of that cash.
Yeah, but
back.
everybody doesn't replace what they lose. So
No, but
I
I'm saying they was able.
I like that they're
to
being
get that cap
aggressive in
space.
replacing,
Yeah.
what went out the door. While Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin wouldn't be a perfect marriage in Pittsburgh, he does think they would work together. So do you think they can coexist in Pittsburgh?
They can. I think what it comes down to is what do the Steelers want? And if you think about what's happened the last couple of weeks, they wanted Matthew Stafford, they struck out. They wanted Sam Darnold, didn't get him. They would have liked to bring back Justin Fields. He goes to the Jets. So now they're really caught in a situation where it's either going to be most likely Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. Now, they know what Russ is, but Aaron, to me, is interesting because if any organization, if any head coach can deal with all the extra stuff that Aaron brings to the table, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, an iconic franchise, and it's Mike Tomlin, a Hall of Fame coach. Now, I'm not saying to that point that it would be perfect, and I think that's really what was expressed to me. It wouldn't be perfect. This is not Aaron Rodgers in 2014, but this is still a guy that down the stretch of last season, the last month, played good enough football where with this defense and now adding DK Metcalf, they could be a very formidable team in the AFC North. So I like it. I don't love it, but I could see how it could work.
What do you make of the idea that he's holding them hostage right now with him not making a decision?
Well, I think they put themselves in a position where because they didn't get Stafford or Darnold, they gambled in essence, and now they're here. Now they don't have a top 10 pick. They're not going to be able to go out and get a Shedeur Sanders or a Cam Ward. If you're the Giants, who are also entertaining Russell Wilson, you have the third pick. And a lot of people around the league believe that New York will trade up to 2 or maybe even 1. If you're the Browns, you have the second pick. You're going to be able to get one of these guys. If you're the Steelers, you don't have that luxury. So it becomes that much more important, Joy, for the Steelers to either retain Russell Wilson or go out and get Aaron Rodgers. But I don't think they have another choice. There's not another option looming for them where they can say, okay, this is our guy. It has to be one of those two, in my opinion.
Jordan, what's up, my boy?
What up, baby?
Where are you? Where are you right now?
I'm in my office where I've been all week,
Yeah.
New York City,
All right.
no shave, no sleep. I look like a caveman.
You working.
This
You look
is
like
why
you
they
working.
pay me the big bucks to hang out
All
with you, Paul.
All right, talk to me. What's the latest on Russell Wilson, man? Talk to me.
Well, he had the Browns. Now he's in New York, going to the Giants, and it's going to be one of those two clubs. Now, if you're the Giants, as it was explained to me by someone much smarter, basically the opportunity you have is you can bring in Russell Wilson, basically have your cake and eat it too. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, let's say you bring in Russell and he struggles the first 6 weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you still have the opportunity to draft Shedeur Sanders or
Right.
Cam Ward. Let's say you trade up to 2. Let's say the Browns maybe don't take a quarterback. I would have told you after the combine that they were 100% taking a quarterback because that's really what they told us. Now, I'm not 100% sure that's going to be the case. Regardless, if you're the Giants, there's not a whole lot of downside to bring in Russell Wilson because it's been made abundantly clear to you from ownership that you have to be more competitive, Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, to keep your jobs after the 2025 season. Russ can possibly give you that. But if he doesn't play well, you can fall back on a rookie and sell ownership on a vision of the future.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, there's very little downside to signing Russell Wilson if you're the Giants.
So, Jordan, is there any way at all that Pittsburgh can lose out on both Russell
On both?
Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and be left kind of just holding the bag, so to speak?
I would be really surprised. And I know there's been a lot of speculation that Aaron Rodgers would follow the Brett Favre, going from the Jets to the Vikings. I've never necessarily bought into that, maybe as much as everyone else. not saying it couldn't happen. I just don't foresee that happening. So if you're the Steelers and let's say you don't get Russ, then I think you have to get Rodgers, and I think you probably would get Rodgers. And if you are Aaron Rodgers, the opportunity to go play for Mike Tomlin, I would imagine, would be enticing. Now, I say, why not Minnesota? Kevin O'Connell, look what he did for Sam Darnold. I'm not saying I wouldn't want that if I'm Aaron. I'm just saying if I'm the Vikings and I drafted J.J. McCarthy where I did that high, after the torn meniscus, after the surgery, I would certainly hope that in year 2, he's ready to go. Now, they lost Nick Mullins, and obviously they lost Daniel Jones to the Colts. That puts even more onus on them to say, J.J. McCarthy, you're our guy for the future.
Jordan, Paul Pierce here, the guy that beat Steph Curry in the 2012 All-Star Game three-point contest. Hey, what's going on in San Francisco, man? Tell me, because I don't know. Are they retooling or rebuilding?
Well, Paul, let me first address the elephant in the room. The only reason you're the three-point champ is because you still haven't given me the opportunity to challenge you, or you could then acquiesce to me. Now, we know Keyshawn shoots bricks. The guy has no touch, no feel whatsoever.
No touch, no
Me,
feel.
on the other hand, I can bring you that bucket. Now, I don't know about Will. I don't know about Joy, but you know I am the greatest three-point shooter to come out of the state of Washington. A lot of records still there.
Oh,
now
God.
we go to the important matter, the San Francisco 49ers. They're hoping that Brock Purdy takes a hometown discount. I don't know if that's going to happen, but regardless of what happens with that deal, he is going to be the quarterback of the future. He's going to get a significant long-term extension. I don't know exactly what that number is. I've talked about the 40s. We've talked on our show about coming into the 50s. He's going to get a real number. I don't think it's going to be quite as high as maybe he wants after what happened last year. But the big story to me isn't even Purdy. It's how different the Niners are going to look in 2025. Obviously, no Deebo Samuel. They lost Hufanga. They lost Dre Greenlaw. They lost Mooney Ward. So you're going to rely a lot, not only on Purdy, but on Christian McCaffrey, and really on a bigger level on Kyle Shanahan to go back to being the Kyle Shanahan of old, because last year was not the type of iteration that Niners fans want to see. So considering that division, I think Arizona will be better. The Rams will certainly be better, adding Devontae Adams. I think Seattle will be competitive. The Niners are going to look a lot different, but there's going to be a lot of pressure on them to win some games because this type of mediocrity will not be tolerated.
You know, Jordan, you're in New York City right now in your basement or wherever you're at in New York. So what's going on around the New York Jets buzz in Manhattan?
The Jets buzz is who is going to be, or how is our team going to look next year with Justin Fields and Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji? And is this going to be finally a quarterback that we can get excited about, $40 million over 2? And is this going to be a team that's going to be disciplined enough on both sides of the ball to be competitive come December and January? And the reason they went out and got Fields, and I said this a few days ago, they believed that even if he's not the perfect solution, Key, that he can come in and bring you the type of athleticism and infuse the type of speed that Aaron Rodgers didn't give them. Now, he reunites with Garrett Wilson. That's a cool connection from Ohio State. And more importantly, they have Tanner Ergstrand from Detroit, who really, in essence, helped Ben Johnson and the Lions achieve record levels of success. Now, I don't think the Jets are going to be where the Lions were last year offensively, but I do think that Justin Fields is a much better solution than even excited Jet fans realize. I think they're going to have a lot of success in year 1 with Aaron Glenn, and I think you're going to see a much better, more exciting version of the offense. To me, the question mark is defensively, and what are you going to do this offseason with all these extension-eligible guys? It's not just Breece Hall and Jermaine Johnson. It's Sauce, and it's all Garrett Wilson. Are they going to pay? Who are they going to pay now? And really, come the draft, what position do they want to address? Is it defensive line? Is it pass rush? Do they need another receiver? There's a lot of question marks around that, but I think this is going to be an improved team heading into 25.
Jordan, we're all evaluating the moves that have been made so far around the league, but is there a under-the-radar move that you've seen that you really are in love with?
I mean, I like the Raiders go out and get Geno Smith. I don't know where Key and Paul and you are on that, Joy, but I thought that was a really shrewd move because not only do you repair him with Pete Carroll, and they have a relationship, but you're telling him, in essence, you're the quarterback of the future. And people would say he's 34 years old. He's much younger than 34 in football years. He sat basically half his career. It's been made clear to me they're going to extend him long-term.
Yes.
And really, if you go back to last week on Monday, not this week, but last week, The Seahawks and Geno Smith began negotiations that went till Thursday. They were unable to find the number. Geno then quietly requests the trade Thursday night. The trade happens Friday. Why is that significant? Because it tells you how much Pete Carroll wanted him in Vegas. And I was told, and here's the key, Tom Brady had a major sign-off on that move. So they still need a number one receiver without question. They have Jacoby Myers, good player. They have a generational potential tight end in Brock Bowers. They still need that X wide receiver. I don't know if that's in the draft. They have the 6th pick. I know they like Ashton Genty. But I think it's a really cool story and under the radar story in the AFC West that Geno Smith and the Raiders could be. I don't know if they're a playoff team, but certainly I think they double their wins from 4 to 8 to next season.
Playoff team in that division? Come on, buddy. I thought you were inside.
They're going to be better. They're going to be better. And I like it for Geno. I think he had his best years with Pete Carroll.
Yeah. It definitely stabilizes them for sure. It's a move we all like. The best insider in the business. Thank you, Jordan.
Definitely
Appreciate
great
you making
insider.
time for us today.
All I
best.
want is a great 3-point shootout with Paul and Key and Joy and Will.
It's Mr. Pierce.
I will not be participating
Mr.
because
Pierce,
I'm
sir.
5'2"
But you can watch
and
and you'll
it's really
see
hard
finally
to get it there. But
that the greatest 3-point
I will
shooter
do the
on that box squad is
play-by-play,
me.
and we'll set this up.
Jordan.
All right.
Jordan,
Yes.
go get some sleep, man.
Hey, you see my eyes? 22 hours of screen time this week.
Oh, I
Pete. That's
thought
what
that
happened.
was from getting punched in Starbucks. My bad.
We love you, Jordan. Thank you for making time for us today. Enjoy your weekend. Really appreciate you. You're doing great work. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.